So in the next lectures and in this section, we're going to be performing our bug hunt on this website right here called Fast Food Hackings. This is actually a website made by a really good bug hunter. His name is Zanos, and he made it to help people learn bug hunting. So all of the bugs that are included in this website are actually inspired by real bugs that were discovered by him and by other really good bug hunters out there. So everything that you're going to see, all of the technologies used on this website are real technologies used on real websites. And you'll see that this website looks and functions exactly like a real website. And like I said, all of the bugs that we're going to be discovering actually existed in real websites at some stage. And this really good bug hunter, Zanos, actually discovered a lot of them himself. Now, as mentioned before, and as usual, before we start testing for bugs, the first thing that we usually do is use the website like a normal user just to get familiar with the way it works, with the functionality that offers, and just to see what are the expected results, what a normal user should expect from this website. Now I'm doing all of this in the web browser that comes with Burp. So I already have my proxy, the proxy is off, I clicked on open web browser, and this is the browser that I have. And the reason why I'm doing it in this browser and not in a normal web browser, because when I'm gonna start using this website and browsing it, every single link that I click and every single resource that gets loaded in this website is still gonna go through Burp. And therefore, in the dashboard, we're gonna see a list of all of the issues that Burp think might need some attention. So these could be useful, but what's really useful is the data that you're gonna see in here in the target. So you're going to see all of the requests and all of the resources that were loaded. You're going to see the request, you're going to see the response, and you're going to be able to filter through this. For now, we don't need to worry about it, but as we go through the bug hunt, you're going to see me come here and I'm going to show you some of the features that we're going to use in here, and I'll talk more about this. But the main thing that I wanted to get across now is that I am not using a normal web browser in here. I'm actually using the web browser that comes with Burp that we can launch from the proxy window in here. So you're gonna just come into this website. We're gonna forget about the existence of Burp for now, and we're simply just gonna browse the website and see what it does and what functionality it offers. So you can see here on the top, we have our menu. If we click on it, we're gonna get the menu. None of this is clickable. None of this is clickable either. So I'm trying to click every button and just see every single feature that is available. So from here, I have nowhere to go. So we're just gonna go back to the home. And then let's go ahead and check out our locations. So that's the other page or feature that is available on the website. And in here, again, we're getting the reviews on the top. We're getting the team, but these are not really clickable. We can't really go anywhere. We have a map. And we have some features. Again, nothing is clickable, so we can't really go anywhere yet. Now, as you know, once we start intercepting data with Burp, we might see more requests and more parameters and more values sent in here. But so far, there's nothing that interesting. We're just getting an idea of how the website works. So right now we have a button that says return to home, or we can click here to go to home. So we're gonna click the button just to see what happens. And we're back at the home page. So we tested all of these features, but you can see also we have a booking feature in here that allows us to book a table probably. So again, let's just click it and use it and see what we should expect from it. So again, this takes us to an interesting page, book.php, and you can see there are 3 different values that are taken from us, and they will probably be sent as a post when we click in here. And that's probably sending a request to the web application in the backend to do something. So this is going to be very interesting to test later on. But again, for now, we're just testing it normally like a normal user. So I'm just putting any values in here. Put any date. I'm not really trying to break it now. I actually want it to work as expected. I'm going to click on reserve and we get a message saying your booking submission has been received. So that kind of gives us a hint also that something was sent or submitted to the backend. So we're going to click on OK. And once we do that, there was actually something interesting happened in here. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a value that were submitted. And now we're back in here and we're getting a message saying the order is pending confirmation. We have the order ID being displayed in here as well. So lots of interesting stuff happening in here, and I can't wait to come back and test this. And you'll actually get this when you're actually pen testing or bug hunting. So we're done with this, and something that has grabbed my attention already is the fact that there is always only 2 items in here in, let's call it, the main menu of the website. But if we go to the locations page, so if we go to our locations again, there is a new item in here called return home. So this only appears in the locations.php, so that's also something interesting that I would make a note of and come back to when I'm testing the locations page. So anyway, let's return to home and let's scroll down. So we tested the booking, we tested all of these items in here in the menu, and I actually forgot to click on the login button in here to see what that does. So if we click on that, you can see we have a pop-up that first of all allows us to request an account. So if we click in here, it's actually not letting us create an account, so that's not that useful yet. And we also have a login that should allow us to log in if we have a correct username and password. So again, we're just testing it to see what happens. I'm putting wrong information and it's telling me that I am putting the wrong information, so that is fine. So now we tested everything in here. We tested the booking, we tested all of these items. The login is obviously very, very interesting, and there's a few functions that's happening in here in the request account and in the login. That's data being submitted to the web application for sure, which means that it should be tested for everything that we learned. But again, we're not in the testing phase yet. We're just getting an idea. I don't want you to get bored of this lecture, but this is very, very important to actually use the website like a normal user and use every single functionality of it. Sometimes I even come in here on these pictures and I would inspect the element and see if the picture URL in here, if it's actually the picture URL, or sometimes the pictures are loaded using parameters. So you would see something like ID is equal to 1, or maybe you see image is equal to beer.jpg instead of it being loaded like this. So even that can be very useful, and even that can expose some information. So we can see that there's a directory in here called assets. I know it seems like I'm rambling right now, but the hardest thing to teach you is what comes with the experience, is the mentality, how to think like an actual bug hunter or pen tester or a hacker in general. So again, coming down in here, there's nothing in here, nothing is clickable, so that's fine so far. Again, you have a slider in here that's sliding through the images. There's JavaScript responsible for loading this probably. So again, I would go ahead and inspect the element, or even just open the image in a new tab to see how it's being loaded. And we can see it's just a hard link to the image, so no values are being passed. There is no equal signs. So that's fine. If I see that, I kind of just leave it, just kind of note the directory in here. So again, we have a directory called img. So now we know there is a directory called img and there's a directory called asset. So as we go through this, you start forming some kind of a structure or an idea of what the target web application is. In many cases, each one of these pages would actually have more functions and would have more links, and I would end up opening them up in different tabs and then go and inspect every tab individually. But for this website right now, we actually have clicked on every link and we've used every single possible functionality. If the website allowed us to create a user, I would have actually created a user, logged in, and used whatever features that the user is allowed to use, again, to get an idea of what's available and what are we allowed to do, because all of that could be vulnerable. But in our case, we weren't even able to create a user. That's why I didn't create that. But at this stage, I feel like we have a really good general understanding of how this website is structured and how it works and the feature it offers. So in the next lecture, we're going to go ahead and start testing these features and try to discover bugs in them.